Revelation 4499. From the 30th of November 1948. Justification for rejecting the truth. God as judge. You cannot justify yourselves in any way if you are accused of having rejected the truth, for you were entirely free to accept it if you had the will to do so. The truth will be conveyed to you, for I will make sure that it is conveyed to each individual, albeit in different forms, and depending on his willingness to accept it, his knowledge of the pure truth will be expanded. But anyone who shuts himself off cannot gain anything, he can only lose the little he possesses. He who is weak in faith will gain increased faith by receiving the pure truth, but he who rejects it will also lose his weak faith. He who has much will still be added to, but he who has little will also still have the little taken away from him. This is how these words are to be understood. The human being does not lack the power of judgment when it comes to recognizing the truth as such, for since I myself want you to know the truth, I will also enable you to recognize it. Only your will has to be willing to accept the truth from my hands, and you declare this willingness by making it your business to examine what is presented to you, by mentally dealing with it, by considering the pros and cons, and thus expressing the desire to accept the truth if you recognize it as such. And then I will guide your thinking correctly. Then you will only win but never lose. And you will be held accountable for how you have behaved towards the presentation of my word, the pure truth. I truly constantly give you the opportunity to gain knowledge of my will. Again and again you are referred to my word. You can accept it everywhere if you desire it yourselves. Yet because you are material, my word is troublesome to you. After all, it warns you against striving for matter and admonishes you to overcome it. But you attach your heart to the goods of this world and therefore don't want to know anything about what comes from the spiritual world. Your will fails or is wrongly directed where it could just as well be rightly directed. And for this you will be called to account, and no one will be able to say that they have remained ignorant of my word and my will. I will be your judge where I wanted to be your father, because you reject my love and do not listen to my word. But I can only act as a judge if I find fault with you, and this consists of you not acknowledging me as father and therefore also not respecting my word. You have therefore deprived yourselves of the right of childship. Then I can no longer act like a father towards you, but have to face you as a judge and condemn you because of your will, which has turned away from me. And thus I urgently warn you against disregarding my word, the gift which my great love offers you, which you do not deserve as creatures still resisting me, but which I nevertheless give to you in order to help you recognize me and learn to love me. But if your rebelliousness is still so pronounced that you flee from my voice or try to drown it out, then you are not my true children either. Then you still belong to my adversary, and therefore I hold court over you. And you will be found guilty. Your rebelliousness will result in me turning my back on you, that the distance between me and you will become ever greater, and this will result in a hardening of your substance, that you will become matter again, which prevented you from accepting the spiritual, my word from above. And you are judged because you yourselves did not want it any other way. Amen.